Hi there, it's Sam from pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today I've got a cute little box. Look at that in the palm of my hand. How adorable is that? That is really sweet. And it's made using our DSP stacks fresh prints. And originally I came up with this box shape months ago, and it's now past Easter, and when I came up with it, it was the perfect size to fit a Cadbury's cream egg. So if you want to put a Cadbury's cream egg in there and give it to somebody, carry on, because it'll work. But you know, I kind of never got around to putting it into a video, so I'm bringing it to you a little bit late. But I wanted to carry on and show you anyway, because it actually is a really good size. I mean, we know how big those Easter eggs, those cream eggs are, so it's a good size box. And I've distressed the edges. I don't know if you can see very well, it's awful light today, but I've taken the Coastal Cabana ink and sort of sponged up the edges and made it a bit grungy and, you know, just a little bit different. So I'm going to show you how to make it, but a slight variation on a theme. And as I said, it uses the DSP stacks fresh prints, which is this lovely set that I have pulled to pieces, and it's gorgeous. 48 sheets, 12 designs, 48 sheets, £6.25, and you can't go wrong with that, which is why I've used it an awful lot. So I've picked one out already that I want to use, which I've now lost. Oh, here it is. I'm going to use this one, which has got colours of Coastal Cabana, Soft Sky, there's Crumb Cake, and there's Soft Suede in there. So I'm going to work with Crumb Cake with it. It measures 6.5 by 4.5 inches, which is 11.5 by 16.5 centimetres. So if you want to cut your own, that's fine. Those are the measurements you need. With the long side on the top, we're going to score it at 1 1/4, 2 5/8, 3 7/8. I've lost 7/8, and 5 1/4, which in metric I haven't written down at all. That's peculiar. I haven't written down the metrics. I will make sure that they're in the blog post. How strange that I've not done that. You turn it around and I have written it down. This is my notes. When I'm writing my notes, I normally put imperial one side and metric the other. Let's try that again. 3.2, 6.7, 9.8 and 14.6. That's the metrics. Why I've written it underneath, I have no idea. And then turn it around. Let's try that again. And score it at 1 1/4 and 3 1/4. Which is 3.2 and 8.2 centimetres. I don't feel daft at all now. But I'm not going to waste this beautiful piece of paper. So, fold your score lines and burnish them. And just do all of these. And the measurements of these, it is deeper on the lid, it's deeper that way than it is deep. That doesn't make sense, it's wider than it's deep. And that's because I was working with a cream egg. And so this was my way of getting it to fit into the box, and it fitted beautifully. We haven't got any left. No cream eggs in the house whatsoever. Otherwise I'd have demonstrated. But the box itself, as I said before, is a great size for holding all sorts of goodies. You know, it doesn't have to be eggs. I'm sure you could probably fit jewellery in there. That would be quite nice. Right, I'm going to build up the box, and I want to sponge the edges, but I need to build the box first. So I'm going to pop this little handy tab bit in here. My ever faithful, I love this small oval punch. This is such a versatile little chappy. And all I'm doing is I'm putting it in one end, and you can see I've got it sort of roughly in the middle section there, and it's taking out less than half a semicircle. And we're going to use it again for the stamp, for the image on the top anyway. But I love it. If there's one punch that I use an awful lot, it's that one. I wouldn't say I use it more than any others because I like nesting punches, but I love that one. So I'm putting snail, because this is a paper box, snail is absolutely fine in every other one of these tabs, because these are going to build up to be the bottom and the top. So it's 3 of them, it's every other one. So ignoring the outer, the one where we've punched first, we're going to work at the other end. Fold one round and build up the side. And then the one on the opposite side, oh, I'm not doing very well with my positioning. Fold this gluey one down to meet that, so you're layering over the top, and the same on the opposite side. And that is the bottom of the box now made. So we're going to build the lid, which is obviously this bit here, by doing exactly the same and just folding these sticky sides in, and that's what makes the lid, which is going to beautifully sit over the top. So I want to sponge the edges. Like I say, I did Coastal Cabana with this one. I'm going to work with Crumb Cake because that's the colour in the background. And all you do, grab your crumb cake ink and your sponge and start with this little tab first. So you just sort of scruff into those bits, just there, and then close it up and just start coming around every surface area that you can see. So that's the front of that bit done. I hope I wasn't off camera then. I probably was. Let me bring that in again. So I'm just scruffing around all of the edges that I can see. My monitor is above me, so I have to look up to make sure that I'm looking, I've got things in the right place. And we might as well do the bottom as well. And it just gives a sort of a slightly different look to the box. I think it's quite fun. Right, Whisper White cardstock. I've got my lovely, fabulous phrases stamp set. Again, one that I use very, very frequently. You can put sort of sentences together, but I like to pick out the single words. So I've chosen sweet this time. Again, working on the theory that originally that it had a Cadbury's cream egg in there. Back into the crumb cake ink. Down onto that Whisper White, and then bringing back this oval punch that I used before. I'm going to put it down towards the bottom because obviously I've got a button in there. Let's quickly sponge the edges of that. And then bring in my button that I was very clever and I prepped it in advance. So I tied on my linen thread already. But this is the neutrals collection, so you've got all of the 6 of the neutral colours in there. I'm going to put a mini glue dot on the back of that. If I don't fight with it first. Oops. There's one on the back there. And onto the top. I'm going to pop a dimensional onto the back of there ready, so that when I've got the ribbon round I can just tie it. And again, this is crumb cake ribbon. This is the taffeta ribbon. That was the Coastal Cabana stretch ruffle trim. Couldn't think of what it was called then. I'm just going to tie a knot in this. Trim off those bits. And then I can pop this down at the bottom. And it would have been gorgeous for Easter. Would have been, but it can be great for any time of the year. So slight variation on a cute little box, and like I say, that is adorable. Let me tell you what the measurements are. It's 3.5 that way by 5.3 centimetres that way, and it is just over 3 centimetres tall. And in metric, in imperial, that is 2 by 1 1/4 by 1 3/8. So it's a nice little size. It's a great size. How cute. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye.